4-bed dual-key penthouse, one and only one available in the entire Fernvale region. Double volume ceiling height, unblocked landed views, asking only at $2.6 million in one of the youngest projects available in this entire area. Why don't we check it out? Welcome to the unit, and this is the only 4-bedded dual-key penthouse you can find in the entire Fernvale region. There's no other 4-bedded dual-key penthouse available in terms of supply. So why do I say that? If you take a look at the Fernvale region, what you'll notice there are only 4 projects that offer dual-key layouts. But if you're looking for a 4-bed dual-key, only High Park Residences in this entire Fernvale region has this kind of configuration. And if you're looking for a 4-bed dual-key penthouse meaning that it's on the top floor, then technically this is the one and only unit you can find in High Park Residences. That also means that this is the one and only 4-bed dual-key penthouse unit you can find in the entire Fernvale region, because within High Park itself, there's only one stack available for the dual-key units. So we are in stack 2 here, and this is the only stack out of the entire 59 stacks here that offers this 4-bed dual-key layout. So very quick introduction to High Park Residences. This is a 99 years project starting from 2014, and this is one of the newer projects you can find in the Fernvale area. POP back in 2019. This is a mega project, and what do I mean by that? You have more than 1,300 units in this entire development, and it sits on an extremely large site area, so you have lots of facilities, more than 100 facilities available for your loved ones. In fact, if you're going to walk around in High Park Residences, do buffer a little bit more time because there are just so many facilities for your kids to enjoy. It's also pretty pet friendly, especially because we have the park connector just right along our side gate area. Coming back to this special unit we are standing in, this is standing at 1,640 square feet. It does include 280 square feet approximately of void space area. Effectively, you still have more than 1,300 square feet of livable space. If you take a look at the original floor plan layout, what you'll notice is that you do get 3 proper bedrooms together with your studio unit. You have your enclosed kitchen together with your utility as well as an additional WC. You have 2 bathrooms, very nice high ceiling height between your living dining as well as one of your common bedrooms, studio unit which comes fully equipped with its built-in kitchenette, its own bathroom as well as a balcony that's being adjoined between your main unit as well as your studio unit. Of course, our owners have already reconfigured this entire layout for their own family needs. What they have already done is to enlarge the entire communal space by hacking down a part of the studio unit, but we're going to talk you through as to how you can reinstate this for less than $10,000 in total. Coming into your main living hall, immediately what you're going to notice is you have this super high ceiling height. This is at least 4 meters in terms of height. So what that means is also that if you do want to add on an additional loft area, you can do so in this ceiling height. If not, I think this is perfectly lovely. You can just keep this set up, maybe do some down hanging lights like a chandelier. If not, you just let all the natural lighting flow in because you already have this very high ceiling that has more window panels. You have a nice distance between your TV panel all the way to your sofa area. So let's say in your sofa area, you do need a bigger setup. You can always configure maybe like a 4-seater plus another 2-seater along the side as a hall as well. Throughout this entire home, what you'll notice is that it's superbly well maintained in terms of its condition, but of course the layout really boils down to your own family lifestyle, what's probably more suitable for you, and therefore you can choose to do the renovation works accordingly. On this particular wall panel, because it's so high, what you can potentially do is also to flush the entire area with full height carpentry. You can have like some display shelvings right above as well, and then keep your TV console on this main area. For your formal dining area, there's really 2 places that you can choose to put it. One, you can put along this entire area. We'll walk you through how you can do it together with perhaps an open kitchen concept right along here. So second option is to have alfresco dining, because you already have a very nice large longish balcony setup. You have superb views because this is really far from all your neighbors. In fact, if you take a look at the site plan analysis, the 4-bedded dual keys are placed in one of the more premium stacks. There's only 1 stack available here in stack 2 that house all your 4-bed dual keys. So towards where I'm facing, that's towards the entire pool area. And of course, we have mentioned also High Park has more than 100 facilities within it because the site area is just so big. You have like your main pool here, your main clubhouse area here. This block is closest towards the main guardhouse area, and what that means is that you can access towards the LRT station super easily. You also have like mini marts as well as some F&B options right within High Park residences. So we are fronting towards the southwest orientation, and therefore you can see there's some wind blowing. It's pretty breezy here generally, especially when you're on a high floor, and surrounding you is largely unblocked as well. So one of the renovation ideas here is that you can zip track this entire balcony up to weatherproof it. That's also going to allow you to host all your gatherings outside here, enjoy some natural breeze, and this balcony is also linked towards your studio unit. Coming into your main studio units, right now this has been reconfigured to enlarge the entire communal area. So what do I mean by that? Originally there was a piece of wall along here, so that's going to separate your living area from the studio area. What our owners have already done is to bring down the wall so that they can enlarge this entire communal area to host more of their friends as well as their gatherings. You can do the entire reinstatement works of the studio unit for just less than $10,000. That includes putting up back the wall right along here. So this is actually where you could fit in your queen size bed or maybe even a king size bed, perhaps to remove some of the storage spaces here, then reconfigure them for like wardrobe spaces need instead. And of course, towards my back, it's just to remove all this carpentry along here. You can still keep like the door setup. I think this is really practical if you kind of want to keep your kitchenette away from your main resting area to give you that level of privacy. This is your main resting area. You have your direct access towards your balcony for some breath of fresh air. If let's say the zip track is already done up, you can also use the balcony maybe like a mini exercise corner for yourself. On the other hand, if you're buying this for your own stay and you've been looking for a layout that can like sort of give you a bigger communal space, I think that this current setup is also great. You already have an enlarged living dining concept. If you want to bring down a bit more walls, you can also choose to remove some of the walls along here in the studio area. Reconfigure this entire floor plate to an expansive communal area. Perfect for hosting, perfect for gatherings, and then keep 3 bedrooms for yourself. This studio unit already comes with its own built-in kitchenette. You have your induction cooker, hood and hob. You even have a built-in oven, so very generously thought of. Nice dedicated area for your fridge space, and you do also have your own personal bathroom. So it's fully fitted with your shower set, WC, as well as your vanity area. Lots of storage spaces. This mirror that is sliding in nature. You can keep all your toiletries behind. And at the bottom, there are also more storage needs. So the allocation for the door frame, it's still behind here. If you do need to reinstate your entrance, this is the main area to do so because this is where the original entrance was. All you need to do is just to remove this partition area, reinstate back the door, and you already have a nice separated dual key layout. Let me show you where the original entrance is. I don't think you have guessed it because it has been very nicely concealed. So actually along here, this beautiful built-in display cabinet, this is actually the main access point towards the studio unit. So it used to be a door. All you need to do is really just remove all this panel of glasses inside. That's actually the original door frame area that you can use to enter towards the studio unit. For all your shoe needs, you already have built-in shoe cabinets along this panel that's being shared between your studio unit as well as your main unit. That's of course your main entrance. I love the fact that they already have window panels here for natural ventilation. That's actually very rare in all your dual key layouts. Now heading into the original kitchen concept, so all these windows can be open, and that's also important because that's going to allow for cross-wind ventilation on both sides. This is very unlike your traditional layouts where you come in, straightaway is a longish walkway, and usually you only have window panels on one side of the house. In this particular layout, you do have dual frontage, allowing for that natural cross-wind ventilation as well as that natural brightness within the house. So come on into the kitchen. Right now, the owners have already reconfigured this to give more storage spaces for their own family needs. They don't really use this as their main cooking area as they have used it where you've seen in the studio area. Originally, this is where you have your cooker hood as well as hob area. All you need to do is just to bring off this shelving. They still have the allocation there for you. On your top hung as well as your bottom hung cabinetry has already been nicely done up, and this is where you can place in your 2-door fridge as well. Right now, the WC has been removed to cater for their laundry needs. So similarly, I think if you don't really need the extra WC area, this is a perfect setup. You can just stack all your washer, your dryer inside this particular area. The owners have also done up just more storage cabinets along this area. So if you do need like a helper's room, then what you can do is just to reinstate the wall right along here, remove all the carpentry, and you're going to have a decent sized helper's room. If you're an open kitchen concept lover, you can choose to bring down this particular wall here, of course subjected to all your ID visits and your confirmation, and then create a much bigger kitchen. You can even have like your island countertop here that's going to host like 6 to 8 people, or maybe even 10 packs depending on your own personal needs. You can have like your built-in induction stove right along your island countertop. That's great for like steamboats, that's great for gatherings. That's also going to free up a little bit more space. It's also going to allow your kitchen to have a bit more interaction with your family or as well as with your guests. So once again, this is the only 4-bed dual-key penthouse you can find in the entire Fernvale region, just because there are no other projects offering such a configuration. So in fact, the next nearest that you want to find a 4-bed dual-key penthouse, that's probably going to be towards the Buangkok MRT station. In the entire Sengkang region, only La Fiesta as well as High Park Residences offer 4-bed dual-key layout. So at this point of filming, if you're going to log on to Property Guru, you'll notice there's no other listing for sale, just because the supply is already so rare in nature. And when you're buying into something that is very rare, that's also going to put you into a stronger asset class. And the stronger asset class is going to protect your capital appreciation in the long run, especially if you do have plans to exit and see a potential capital growth. So if you're taking a look at the normal 4-bed dual-key, there are a handful of options within the entire area. Probably going to set you back about $2M to $2.35 million plus minus, depending on the project as well as the location and floor level. And we'll move towards the penthouse area, standing over 2,000 square feet, asking prices ranging from $2.8 to $3.5 million for such configurations. And if you're coming back to looking at a 4-bedder setup, if you are in the market for something that is newer, at least 2018 built year and above, High Park TOP back in 2019, putting this as one of the younger projects available in the market. If you're looking just for like a normal 4-bedder, it's going to set you from $2.8 million and upwards. So coming back to where we are here, for this 4-bed dual-key penthouse, one of its kind available in this entire region, is only asking at $2.6 million. And I'm going to break down right now for you how this financials can make sense for you, especially if you're considering between a normal 4-bedder, even a normal 3-bedder, versus towards this 4-bed dual-key penthouse here. So for example, if you're buying into a $2 million property, taking up the full 75% loan at the interest rate of 2.5% across the next 30 years, your monthly installment is going to set you back about $5,926 per month. And if we compare on the other hand, if you're buying into a $2.6 million property, same thing, that's going to put your monthly installment at the $7,704 ranges. At first, it might seem like this $2.6 million monthly outlay is much higher. However, don't forget that this is a dual-key layout. So dual-key is going to give you that flexibility to rent out the studio unit if you need a level of passive income. And the great thing is that first of all, you do not need to pay for ABSD because you're going to own this entire property solely under that particular ownership manner, whether it's 1 name, 2 names, 3 names. You just need that set of names to buy into this property without paying ABSD for another studio unit separately. Secondly, because you're only renting out the studio unit, that also means that your property tax is still going to belong to the owner-occupied rates because you're technically still living in the main area itself. This is not purely for investment per se. If you take a look at the market transactions, the studio units are already transacting between the range of $2,005 all the way up to $2,800. Assuming if you're able to rent the studio unit out at $2,500 per month, that means that your current monthly installment is going to drop to $5,200 odd, versus if let's say you buy into something that is of a 3-bedder at $2 million odd, your monthly installment will be at $5,900 odd. So immediately your cash flow is going to make a lot more sense by opting to go for a dual-key unit. Similarly, if you're able to rent this out on the higher end, let's say at $2,800, that's going to put your monthly installment just $4,900 odd. So once again, you can see that by opting into a $2.6 million dual-key setup, that's going to give you some level of cash savings, in fact, in terms of your monthly cash flow, as long as you're renting that portion out. Of course, the caveat here is that you just need to be able to finance the down payment as well as take up the full 75% loan. Then I think that if let's say you have been considering between like a $2 million odd property and whether or not you want to take the jump to move into a stronger asset class, then this kind of dual-key units will make great sense, because in terms of your cash flow, that's already going to balance out. Moving into your first common bedroom, I think this is perfect for kids or young working adults because you do have that super high ceiling height. The developers have also done up this built-in loft, and when you have built-in loft, it's going to maximize the entire space, because on the bottom part, you can keep it for like your main study desk area. You can have all your built-in wardrobe needs along here for all your clothing needs. Keep the top part as your main resting area, or you can always swap it around. You can have your main study area above and then your main resting area right along here, then put all your clothing needs right above. So I think in terms of space efficiency, this is great because it's going to give you that double level. You already have this additional loft being done up versus your traditional bedroom. Second bedroom, pretty regular in size. You can definitely fit in a queen size bed. You have your 2 panel of wardrobe nicely built in already. Similarly, throughout all your bedrooms, you generally have a higher ceiling height than normal. So this is probably about 3 meters in terms of height. All your bedrooms also have great distance away from all your neighboring blocks, giving you that level of privacy. And of course, across the hall, that's where you're going to find common bathroom. Condition-wise, this entire home is very well maintained. So in terms of renovations, it really really depends on your style. If you want to do an extensive renovation, you can change this entire theme out. If not, I think if you're someone who's a little bit more minimalist, you can keep this setup, just do minor touch-ups and you're good to move in already. There's also a window for natural ventilation, shower set, WC, as well as your vanity area with lots of storage spaces. So coming into your master bedroom, this is really one of the key highlights of this home. I just love this view. Come and enjoy this view here. So this is facing towards your unblocked landed views. Of course, this is also where you're going to enjoy the sunset because we are facing towards the west area. But if you're a little bit afraid of heat, what you can choose to do is just to do up like solar films to block out some of the heat. But in exchange, I think that this view is super worth it because this is completely unblocked. It's going to give you that level of great privacy. Just imagine yourself, every time you wake up, just going to enjoy this unblocked views. Or maybe if you're someone who loves watching the sunset, you can just chill out in your bedroom here and enjoy the views. So in this particular master bedroom, it is of a slightly curved nature. So I think that's going to give you a little bit more of a unique feel towards the room. And what you can definitely fit in here is like a queen size bed or even a king size bed. You have power plugs allocated on both sides of the wall. You also have your 2-door wardrobe located right along here for all your clothing needs. If you do need a little bit more nook for clothing, perhaps you can build another shelving here. Maybe just like a half-height drawer to put in all your other accessories as well. So one of the other perks on being on the top floor is that you're going to get all this super high ceiling height throughout your entire home. So in this master bathroom, shower set nicely installed. If you need a bathtub, you can always change the configuration here because you have enough space to do so. You also have a big panel of window for ventilation. You have your WC as well as your sink, and similarly lots of storage spaces already nicely catered for. And while we are here at the master bedroom enjoying the views, if you recognize some of the shop houses along that stretch, that's actually at the Jalan Kaya stretch, and Jalan Kaya is famous for all their supper needs. You do have a lot of cafes, a lot of lunch options right along there as well. So for all your F&B options, you can just take the side gate in High Park Residences that's going to lead you out towards the park connector. Cut through the landed estate is going to bring you straight to Jalan Kaya in less than 5 minutes walk. You also have Seletar Mall just less than 10 minutes walk away, or you can always just choose to take the LRT at Thanggam. There's just one stop down towards Fernvale where you have your Seletar Mall as well as like your CC area, so all your other amenities can be found right along there. And of course, you can just hop on the LRT, just 4 stops will bring you towards the main Sengkang MRT interchange. That's going to give you Campus 1 shopping mall, 1 stop down that's going to bring you towards Waterway Point, and of course another stop that's going to bring you towards Sengkang Grand Mall. And from Sengkang MRT towards the CBD area, it's just less than 30 minutes train ride. So all in all, even though High Park Residences is not right next to the MRT station, it's super well connected still because you have all your amenities within walking distance. And if you're someone who's driving, the TPE is just less than 2 minutes drive away. In fact, because Sengkang is a developing township, what that means is that the government still has plans to improve the connectivity here. For example, there are more road openings that's going to lead towards the TP area that's coming your way. And if you look across some of like the greeneries right along here, in future, in the long-term master plan, there are sites demarcated for commercial and residential, so a mixed development. What that means is that it's going to bring you more conveniences, more amenities, and more pricing movement in the area as well. And at the back portion, you take a look at the master plan, it's all reserved for residential. So lots of BTOs are coming your way here, and that's also going to form another pool of potential exit audience if you're buying into this property today. And these are the 3 primary schools that you have within the 1 kilometer mark. So we come to the end of the home tour. If you are looking for one of its kind, the one and only 4-bed dual key penthouse, then this might be one of the best chances for you to do so. This unit is only asking at $2.6 million. Well connected to all your amenities within walking distance. It's also one of the newer projects available in this entire belt. Do come and check out this unit with myself or Tiffany. Our contact details can be found in the link below. Do also follow all our social media platforms. My name is Caline Leong. This is PropertyLimBrothers. Always happy to show you the face. I'm going to show you from here. Sorry. For education. Can. And of course across. Okay. Okay. So for example, if you're barling into something that is extremely rare.